Hey guys, what's up? This is Zach from Rocket Zero, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at villagers. Now villagers, if you don't know, spawn in villages, so you have to find a village if you're just playing in survival, because that is how you will find one. So they'll spawn three different ways pretty much. Natural generation, which villagers will spawn in villages and inside the various buildings in the villages. There's also baby villagers, so when two villagers mate, they will spawn baby villagers, and in exactly 20 minutes the baby villager will grow into an adult. And there's also zombie villagers. So if you ever see a zombie and he looks kind of like a Squidward, then that is probably the zombie villager, and you can turn them into a normal villager if you use a splash potion of weakness and then feed it a golden apple. It will turn into a villager, assuming it works. I think the percentage changes based on what difficulty you're playing on, the success rate, but it will most likely turn into a normal villager. Now if you kill a villager, it does not drop anything. There's no drops. They don't so you pretty much get no benefit from killing a villager. Their behavior is a little interesting. They will go and explore other buildings, make sounds, and frequently open and close doors. So if you ever hear like the squeaky hinge of the doors, it's probably them opening and closing the doors. They like to do that with wooden doors. After it spawns and it kind of gets like used to the buildings and stuff in the village, it will head to the outskirts of the village, but it will never actually leave the bounds of the village itself. Occasionally, two villagers will stop and turn to look at each other, and this is what they call socializing. That's the villagers socializing, and they'll just kind of stare at each other for a few seconds, and they'll make some noises, and they just caught up on all the latest gossip going on in the village. If you stare at them, they will stare at you for as long as you are close enough to them. So like if you're within a few blocks, I think they'll just continually stare at you, which is kind of creepy when you have a big group of them around you. So don't get nightmares. Villagers will not willingly fall off high cliffs that will kill them, but they will occasionally take fall damage. So if they know that the jump is high enough to kill them, they won't do it. But if it's just going to give them a few hearts of damage, then they might take the jump. They will not stay away from fire or cactus, so they don't change like their behavior around them. If they are walking one direction and you put like a flint and steel on the ground in front of them, they won't care. They will probably walk right through the fire, and it might kill them. And the same works for cactuses. So they won't change their behavior around them, kind of like most mobs. Like if you have like a zombie or a skeleton and you do the same thing to them, they'll just go through it and take damage. Baby villagers will sprint around, entering and leaving houses whenever. They run really fast, and they're just like all chaotic. They will chase each other around the village, and this is kind of like they're playing tag. And sometimes they will stop and stare at an iron golem. Iron golems will occasionally spawn in villages because it's the only protection the villagers have, since villagers are non-aggressive mobs. So the iron golem will kind of like save them from zombies and skeletons and stuff like that. And if the iron golem is holding a flower, the children will cautiously take the flower from its hands. So that's pretty interesting, kind of like a gift. And big iron golems are pretty intimidating, but the kids don't care. They're just a little bit more cautious around them. There's also a type of villager called a witch. So when lightning strikes between 3 to 4 blocks of a villager, it will turn into a witch. And you don't want to mess with witches. They are scary. Villagers will mate depending on the number of valid doors. So this is like for breeding and stuff. So I don't know why they did it this way. It's kind of dumb. It's very difficult to keep track of it. So villagers will mate until the number of adult villagers equals 35% the number of doors. So let's say you have like 100 doors in a village. The villagers will spawn until there's 35 of them. So I guess this is just to prevent from overcrowding and stuff like that. But I wish they would have picked a better way to do that, because that way seems a little confusing at times. So now let's take a look at their professions and the careers. So here we have a brown robe, which is a farmer. You can always tell them apart based on the clothing. They all have different clothes. So the brown robe is a farmer, and their profession is, like, his profession is farmer, but his career could be farmer, fisherman, shepherd, or fletcher. So some of them have professions, and then they can have like sub-careers inside the profession. And they will all trade based on like their profession and stuff. So farmer, you can see, he'll give you like gravel, or he wants gravel and stuff like that, but he won't give you good stuff, not at least for the starting trade. But if you trade with him a bunch of times with this, you'll unlock this one, and then this one, and so on and so forth. So that's a farmer. The white robe is a librarian. His only career can be a librarian. He'll trade a lot of like paper and books and stuff like that. Purple robe is the priest. See that? He's pretty useful. He'll give you some cool stuff most of the time. The blacksmith, Black Apron, is one of my favorite guys to trade with, because he pretty much always gives me useful stuff. So he could be an armorer, a weaponsmith, and a toolsmith, so his career will change. But he'll usually give you like swords and armor and stuff like that, so I like him. And then we have the white apron, which is a butcher. He could be a butcher or a leather worker, so he'll give you a bunch of food and stuff like that. Pretty useful, because you won't have to like trade your or you won't have to slaughter your pigs and stuff like that for food. And then there's also a witch. That's what she looks like. Do not mess with her. She will mess you up big time. She'll throw potions and stuff at you. And like I said, you can get a witch if lightning strikes within 3 to 4 blocks of her. Or I think they also spawn like kind of randomly in swamps and stuff like that. So if you're in a swampy biome, you might see 1 or 2. And then, so trading with these guys, usually it'll involve emeralds. So they'll either want emeralds or they'll give you emeralds. So emeralds are good to find when you're like in a cave and stuff like that. You should definitely mine them. So most offers involve emerald as the currency and some item pertinent to the villager's profession and career. So like I said, farmer, gonna give you like flint, gravel, maybe some wheat seeds, melon seeds, stuff like that. Librarian, a lot of book stuff. Priest, just kind of like a bunch of weird stuff, like the glowstone, probably some more nether items. You can only get, like, there's some things that you can only get via trading. So for instance, if you trade with the blacksmith, that is the only way. I actually did it. Let me try to find the blacksmith that I was trading with earlier. Of course, he probably died. I think he's dead. Nope, there he is. Alright. So, I was trading with this guy earlier, and trading with him is the only way that you're gonna be able to get chainmail armor. So it's the very last thing here, and I can get a chain helmet by trading him 5 emeralds, and that is the only way you're gonna be able to obtain chainmail armor in survival mode. And trading is also the only way that you're gonna be able to get a bottle of enchanting, in survival mode. So that'll give you a bunch of experience levels and stuff like that. But like I said, trading, pretty useful, as long as you don't get a bunch of trades like this guy. But you're gonna have to do like a few of those just so you can unlock the better trades. But I think that is about it for villagers. So I hope you learned something. I learned something making this video, so I'm assuming you did too. I already took advantage of the trading and stuff like that, so, but I still managed to learn some things, so hopefully you did too. But that is it. Thanks for watching. This was Zach from Rocket Zero, teaching you all about villagers. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. And go make some trades. Good luck.